Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Pro Wrestling Tonight. We're here with the Prez, and we're here with my co-host once again, magnificent Drey Breeze. How you doing, buddy?
What's up, Prez? What's up, man? What's up, everybody?
It's been quite a week in wrestling in Quebec here for the Quebec wrestling news, and also in wrestling news in general. With that big Impact Wrestling pay-per-view, we're going to get into that.
Later, yeah.
There was a Battle of the Belts, so there was even like a couple extra shows this week, even more than usual. So let's get right into Dynamite, which we just stopped watching. It started off with Adam Cole promo coming out with Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. What did you think about starting to show off with Adam Cole?
Oh man, it's a boom. I mean, Adam Cole's great, so he's great on the mic. Yeah, I thought it was awesome. I thought the promo was great. I thought the whole bit was good, bringing out the Bucks, and they were going to do the challenge and everything. I really like the competition between Red Dragon and Young Bucks and how they're kind of like making it like it's going to be a friendly competition. Of course, we know that's probably not going to boil over that way, but yeah, that's a good way to start a show. That's how you start a show. You know what I mean? In my opinion.
When I was watching that, I was thinking like Adam Cole has got to be in a main event soon. Like he almost like he should be going for the title almost right away.
He should be the face, like he should be one of the top 5 faces of the company. The guy that's in a repetitive way holding one of those titles, you know, he's just got that. He's the Shawn Michaels of today, in my opinion. His way of working, his way of wrestling, his look, his overconfidence, his all of that he brings to the ring. That's who he reminds me of. Like when I see Adam Cole. And he's got that star power. If you give it to him, man.
Yeah, he commands the screen when he's on the screen.
He commands the crowd. Who doesn't go boom? Yeah. And who doesn't go Adam Cole, baby, at the same damn time every time? Like nobody. Probably one of the biggest pops after CM Punk. So
definitely, I would say, you know, like his Ring of Honor run, he was already world champion there, and then they kept him in NXT a relatively long time, but he was on top of NXT. So I think like he's like overdue to be like a top guy, to be really showcased.
Yeah, as one of the top in the world. You know,
2-3 years ago, he's overdue to be like. WWE could have put him on Raw almost like right away, but they just chose to keep him on NXT.
Yeah, and then there's just like no rent. Like I don't know if he walked out on them, if they wanted him out, or if he walked out. Like because his contract ended. Did he choose not to renew, or did they choose to go bigger again? Like what it seems that they're doing. I don't know. You know, I heard they offered Gargano money, so I assume they offered him because he's one of those talents. But you know.
And it seems like as soon as when he left, that was almost like what made it no longer NXT, and now it's NXT 2.0 because like there's no more Undisputed Era.
Yeah, they were NXT, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So then CM Punk is in our opener here, but it's not like the first match. So it's CM Punk against Wardlow. Wardlow accompanied by MJF.
Yeah.
Wardlow was looking pretty good in this, I find. Sean Spears was not there this time.
No, his butt buddy wasn't there.
It was like, is he going to show up? I was like wondering, like, I was kind of like looking out for him. And so it's pretty back and forth towards the beginning. And then Wardlow ends up taking over. He hits him with 7 power bombs. Takes Punk to the outside, and 8th one through a table. And
like hats off to Punk for taking 7 power bombs. Like when he got to 3, I was like, yo, Punk is 40 something years old. He just took 3 solid power bombs in the middle of the ring. And then when he hit 7 and 8 with the table, I was like, Jesus, kudos to Punk for taking 8 bumps like that at his stage in his career. 8, that's really putting Wardlow over as a powerhouse.
Really. I didn't even know like what was going to happen from there. And then like MJF kind of distracts Wardlow by like insisting he keeps power bombing him. That gives Punk the chance to roll him up for the win. I don't know how I didn't love the ending. It was okay. What I was really thinking about in this match is like Wardlow, I guess, impresses Punk because like, remember when Punk left WWE, how much he had bad to say about Ryback? And like Ryback and Wardlow almost have like a similar everything, you could say.
A similar build, but I think Wardlow's got potential, a lot of potential as a big guy. Like just his look, his athleticism. Did you see him jump up? Like, just to jump up from the floor is insane for a man that with that upper size, Like he's got the potential to be like a Brian Cage type power wrestler, Like you could do something with Wardlow. Like you could push him. He could really be a big guy that you could take far, maybe hold a belt, maybe not the world title, but a TNT title, something like that, Like I could see friction between him and MJF because he's holding him back in a way. I mean, he basically dominated Punk. He could have pinned him after the third or fourth one. I was like, no way they're gonna have him kick out.
Like, I'm glad that they made him still look strong in this despite him losing, because remember, like we were saying last week, like they kind of like screwed themselves, like, because if they make Wardlow lose, then like what are they gonna do with this like domination streak? But like they kept that intact, and I guess it worked out. It was like it worked out here. It was pretty logical, I'd say. Like
because I was wondering, that's it. I was wondering about how, how AEW keep records and everything, and they got this guy's undefeated, and then I see Wardlow, he's like 40-3 or something like that. And in my head, first thing I'm thinking is, has he even really wrestled 43 matches?
Yeah, really, maybe on Dark and like.
Even I'm thinking maybe 20 tops. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times he's out there standing, getting involved, but he's just like, you know what I mean? Like a bodyguard.
MJF doesn't even wrestle that often. And most of the, like his first year, he would just come out with MJF. So like he wouldn't even be on TV for like half the shows, Wardlow. Exactly. And when he would be, he would just be in the background. That's a good point. Yeah. I don't know about their records. Are they really legit?
I think they boosted a little bit, They're just like, oh,
give everyone like 10 more wins.
Yeah, exactly. They'll never notice.
That's it. So then, so the second match was Dante Martin. He picks up a win against Powerhouse Hobbs, which like I guess is the continuation of the whole Team Taz feud with Dante Martin. But like, I thought this was a good enough match for what it was. I like Powerhouse Hobbs a lot. Dante Martin, he shows potential. Definitely. But it just, I don't know. It felt like this feud was already over. Why are we revisiting this? There's so much. I don't know.
I'm saying to myself, this is more of a match that I would see on Dark. Me, Dante Martin, he's a good, talented wrestler. Once again, like Daniel Garcia, is he somebody I'm looking to see every week? You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many small, little, high-flying guys that are good. There's tons of them. Why is he standing out more than others? Powerhouse Hobbs, I love. I like Tim Taz. I like all of the guys in Team Taz. Ricky Starks, just him being outside the ring, the way he's acting, and everything. I really like Team Taz. So, but I'm thinking this was just to introduce Jay Lethal. They took this and they were like, we can stick Jay Lethal in here. To bring him more, get him involved with Dynamite, because he was wrestling on Dark, and I'm like, you've got Dante Martin wrestling like on TV, this guy wrestling on TV. You signed Jay Lethal, and he's wrestling.
He's on Dark. He's on YouTube for free. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that don't.
I watched Dark this week, and one match, Jay Lethal was teaming with Sonny Kiss on Dark. I was like, this is
that's it.
Random.
It's random. You know what I'm saying? It's really random. I'm just like, this is just useless randomness. This is the stuff like, I don't approve everything Jim Cornette says, but this is the type of stuff that when Cornette talks about, you're like, yeah, He's right.
He's got
It's
points.
just he's got points. That's stupid. It's just stupid.
Yeah.
You know?
So yeah, no, you're right though. It was cool to see Jay Lethal show up. I think overall, this episode was like maybe the beginning of like a cycle of storylines or something, because we've seen a lot of new
Yeah.
guys show up, which we'll
Yeah.
get to as we continue, because then we had Jericho backstage, and he gets interrupted by Kingston. So their
Yeah.
little back and forth is continuing. We'll see that continuing over the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Just a feud that's building up. I think they're just trying to get Santana and Ortiz to break away so that they can really push them in the tag team division, where they should have been pushed over the last year, like we talked about in the last episode. I think they're bringing more emphasis on that, on trying to make them break away from, you know, the clique that's been the first clique that's useless to be a clique anymore, in my opinion. You know what I mean? So
yeah, at this point, the inner circle is kind of like played out, and like face clicks are never that effective, anyways.
no,
You're
a
like
clique's
a
a bad
bunch
guy.
of good guys, so being like the strength in numbers, they're good guys, so they're not gonna take advantage of that because that would be cheating. So they're just like, hey, we're all buddies, you know?
Exactly. The way you want to do it is you want to have bad guys click up, beat everybody up, dominate everybody, and have a bunch of faces that might not have anything in common come together, even though they have competition, you know, to take over the greater evil, which is
Yeah,
the
like
clique
they
of
can
evil
team
guys.
up, but
Yeah.
they don't have to be a faction.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Because the essence of a faction is to dominate and control, over control, and faces aren't about controlling. You know,
Exactly.
they're
Yeah,
about
that's
pleasing.
like a basic storytelling, like even in a movie or a show or something. That's
Exactly.
something that they
Exactly.
should definitely look more into, because like that's what makes sense.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So then next we get Adam Page promo.
I
He's
love
wearing
it.
this pretty cool vest. I don't know. Did you like his weird cowboy vest?
No, it looks like he bought it at like one of those, not a real cowboy store. You know what I mean? It's like a mock cowboy store. You know, and
Yeah,
it's like
like
he
in a flea
like
market or
Gucci
something.
Flage. Yeah, exactly. You know, like Gucci Flage. And he was like, oh, that's very cowboy. And,
Yeah.
you know, you got to love Dan Lambert.
Yeah.
Like
So
his
Dan
knowledge of
Lambert comes
wrestling,
out.
Dan Lambert's awesome.
I'll let you explain. Explain what happens here.
Dan Lambert comes out calling Cowboy a fake cowboy, that he did work hard for his championship, but basically that he's a fake. He's pretending to be a cowboy when people in Virginia can't be cowboys, stealing the gimmick of like Cowboy Bob Orton, Doc Murdoch, all those boys, all those real cowboys, you know, Black Jack Mulligan and all of that. And
Yeah.
Adam Page is like a face cowboy, you know, cowboy shit. And I liked Adam Page's response to that, you know,
Yeah,
like,
he's like,
hey,
I
how about,
really did live on a farm and everything.
yeah, exactly. And that really is cowboy shit. Dan Lambert is great as a manager. He was great in Impact with Top Team
He
when they were
was.
pissing off Bobby, when he was with Bobby Lashley. And he's continuing he's just a great manager. He just really is.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
I
glad that
thought I thought we would see Scorpio Sky or Ethan Page come out, but no, it was just him going at it with the
going at it. Yeah, it's like he really had something to get off his chest, and he just walked out and like spoke from his heart. You know,
yeah.
it really looked like that. And then bringing back Lance Archer, that was good. It's about damn time. And
Yeah,
going
Lance
straight for
Archer
the
shows up and
champion.
attacks Adam Page. And so I guess that's going to be a feud going forward.
It's good, and it's about time. He's been here for years. He was one of the first ones they signed. He was a big name. He was a name that people wanted to see here in the States because of what he did in Japan, how he built himself up as a monster over there. And then they just kind of like pushed him a little bit, put him to the side, put him in a couple feuds that had nothing to do with belts. I think Lance Archer's got that look, man. He needs to be a top heel all the
Yeah.
time. He needs to be up there. A man that big is dominating and needs to be put like a dominating you know.
For sure. He could pull it off. He can pull off like that monster that they need a monster like that. And what's weird though is like, well, it's not weird, but it's just like we were saying, like, it feels like they book their guys in cycles. And sometimes like when the guy's on like the end of the cycle, it's like, well, we're just not going to see you for 3 months, but then we'll bring you back and you'll be like in a big feud. That's what it feels like here.
Yeah. It's like you're on vacation.
You haven't seen him for a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. Don't know if he had an injury or if it had to do with the fact that they had to sideline Jake the Snake, because I think Jake got COVID, and, you know, traveling for him must be hard in these times because he's not exactly the dude with the best health.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know if that's why they were kind of like, okay, we're going to make you wait a little bit because, you know, make you appear without Jake and he come back. Is it going to take too much time? Blah, blah. And then I think finally they were just like, okay, we're going to fucking put you in there because people are asking. You know what I mean? Like, where the hell is he? I find that's what's weird about their show, though. They seem to really listen to what people talk about the show. People start asking, what's this guy? What are you doing with this guy? And then like an episode or two later, all of a sudden that guy's there.
That guy shows
I'm like,
up.
holy, yeah. It's like, holy shit. Are they actually like, okay, what do the fans want? Like on the internet going, they want to see Lance. Okay, let's put Lance out there. And sometimes it's like, that's why it doesn't make sense. You know, you're like, what the fuck? Who had this idea? And they were like,
they're like, Bob, I don't know. He was trending on Twitter.
Yeah, Bob 87 from Wisconsin was like, "Where's Lance Archer? Shit, we got to put Lance."
Better call him. Send him a plane ticket.
Yeah, pull him up in a limo.
Like that.
All kidding aside.
The next we had the only women's match of the night. Serena Deeb against Hikaru Shida. Serena attacks her before, during, after the match. She just goes completely nuts.
I love her. Okay, like she is hands down probably the second best women's wrestler they have in that company. Fuck Britt Baker without dissing her completely, but move her out the way. She's nothing compared to Serena Deeb. And now that Mercedes Martinez is with them either, not even comparable. In terms of like ring work, just her fucking attitude. Did you see her dominate? Now that's how you come out and kick an ass and make it believable.
Yeah,
make it believable.
She looked like she was really going nuts, and like
exactly.
You don't see that kind of aggression that often from the women. You know.
Exactly. That's what I said. I said she looks like a bitch that you get locked up in prison with.
Yeah,
that's been there. That's been there for a while. You know. And she's like, this is my bunk. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, damn, she's good. And
yeah, they're just definitely. And usually, like, I'm quite a fan of Shida. She's had some good, she's done some good stuff in AEW, but I think that Serena really shined in this match. She like overshined Shida in this one.
Oh yeah. Which is good. Good. Keep it like that. You need that heel girl. Like Britt Baker's okay, but that's just mean. Like that's good. That they need to keep that going. Yeah,
definitely. Because Britt Baker, she's almost like a face, you know?
Yeah.
Like everyone chants with her the DMD. She gets a really great reaction when she comes out. People like,
I never saw it. I don't know. I felt like Thunder Rosa carried her in that match. Like that they keep getting renowned for.
Yeah.
I'm not impressed with her. When I see her wrestle, I see the bunny. You know?
Yeah.
I don't see
like a pretty face, and
you know what? That's okay in the ring. That's good. Like she's good, the bunny. You know what I mean? She's good, but it's not super good. It's just like, okay, you know, okay.
Yeah.
And I see the same thing when I see Britt Baker. I can watch the bunny. I can watch Britt Baker in a match. I see the same thing. When I see Mercedes Martinez, when I see Thunder Rosa, when I see Serena Deeb, I see different. I see a wrestler. I see moves. I see reverses. I see a mindset. I don't just see a saying and I look good and I'm DMD and this and that and getting props for a hardcore match, which dozens of girls have done before in the past and other girls are doing now. I mean, she didn't. I don't know. To me, it's just nah. I could
I
get
mean,
booed for that,
the
you know,
women,
but
sad to say that like the women in AEW, a lot of their matches that they've been praised for are hardcore matches. And like, I'm not taking anything away from people who do hardcore matches or anything about hardcore matches, but any wrestler will tell you that psychology wise, hardcore match is like the easiest thing to do.
because
Especially
it's
if
just
you're using like thumbtacks and shit. Like, how can you not get a reaction from that? How can you not get a reaction from like a super pretty girl bleeding?
exactly. It's all show and well, taking pain. And I mean, you know, the show of it, you know, it's like, oh, it's barbed wire. Yeah, it's fucking barbed wire, man. It's just barbed wire. There's no
That's it.
psychology to it. There's no acting to it. I'm cutting your ass with barbed wire. You are going to scream in pain. You know what I mean? To me, it's I like some hardcore stuff. I like a hardcore match and a death match if it needs to be done because two guys have been feuding for a fucking year and it's
Yeah,
not over.
exactly.
And they've been in a cage match and they've been in a war with other guys around them and this and that. And it's like, this is the match that's going to end it. We're going to put ourselves in a barbed wire match with shit. And then one of us is going to leave on an ambulance stretcher and it's going to be it. That's it. The end of
That's
the
it. To end
story.
the
The
feud.
end of the.
That's it.
In this now, there's just a death match. Like somebody had a death match last week. It was just like a death match, and I'm like, why? Who? Why? Because I feel like, oh, they got props for a death match. I
Oh,
want a
like
death match.
I think Cody against El Idolo, and they didn't even like really hate each other, and they're like they
Yeah,
set each other on fire. And their feud wasn't even like I don't even think they were feuding. Like they like
no.
kind of didn't disliked each other.
I find it to be like it's like pop. It's like pop searching. I'm searching for a pop. What's gonna make people go, oh, oh, and chant, oh, and chant, oh, and chant? But it's like ECW's been doing it since the 90s.
That's it.
CZW's
It's
been
nothing
doing it
new.
on,
It's
you know, it's just recycled, broski. It's just recycled. It's
mhm.
recycled. You want to do a death match? Cool. Where's Matt Tremont? Where's Masada? Where's you want to do a real death match? Okay, do one death match. Bring Masada in. Masada can wrestle. Masada was in TNA and Ring of Honor for a while. He can do a match. He can do psychology, but then he'll cut you up. He will. He'll show you a death match, you
Yeah.
know? But they don't bring these guys in. Let's do a death
Yeah, that's the
match.
thing too. Like a lot of the times they're hardcore matches. They promise this like super violent thing, and then when it gets to the match, you can tell that it's fake barbed wire. The bombs don't actually work.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
all kinds of like nonsense that like their special effects guys fucked up. Like
Yeah, because they were like, okay, we could do this hardcore,
it's
but we
not
don't
like
want
a
to
real
kill.
hardcore fed like CZW where they're just gonna go to Reno Depot and get all their crap.
Exactly. Like some backyard wrestling shit, you know?
That's it.
Like, okay, now on to the next thing.
Yeah, we'll move on from that one. We got Penta El Zero Miedo. He beat Matt Hardy. Um, this was all right,
Useless.
but yeah, like it felt useless.
It's like Ray's hurt. Ray got hurt with Luchasaurus
Yeah,
last
last
week,
week.
which again, fucking Luchasaurus. Thank God Impact didn't sign his ass. Don't understand why AEW signed his ass. It's not the first time he fucks up like this and like does a move and overdoes it, overthrows a guy, over makes some oh man, sometimes he looks really bad. Sometimes he can look really good. Sometimes, man, he looks so bad and so dangerous. And he hurt Phoenix, and that's the first thing I said. I said, damn it. I said, I knew it. I knew he was gonna hurt somebody again. He just can't fucking wrestle this guy.
Yeah,
Overdoing it.
Phoenix. Phoenix has had some bad luck, unfortunately. The guy is so talented, but he just keeps getting injured and like, you know, high flyers, that'll happen. But this was had nothing to do with like him being a high flyer. This
That was a
like,
choke slam that completely missed the goddamn table.
yeah.
You know,
So
like it's
Penta's
like
gonna
what the
be
fuck?
in singles, which could work, but like I don't know.
Well, he's a great single. I mean, he was
Yeah.
Impact champion. In Impact, he was evil. He was Pentagon Dark, and he was good. And that feud with Sammy Callahan too, he was good. Like he can be one of your top fucking, you know what I mean,
Main
heels in
eventers.
the
Yeah.
company. You know, and he's
Maybe they'll
good. And
use him better here, but I don't know.
I don't know. Putting him against
He gets
crooked
a win
nose Matt
against Matt
Hardy.
Hardy here, though. So
Man, what's up with Matt Hardy's nose?
I don't
Have you?
know.
His whole face is like sideways now.
Is some botched plastic surgery, perhaps?
And I don't know
After
what
the
they're doing with.
match, sorry.
I don't know what they're doing with him. I think they're setting it up for Jeff to come in, which is what you were going to talk about after the match, because he says there has to be a change and all
Yeah.
that. Something has to change, you know? That's what he was
Yeah.
saying. So,
Maybe it's time to end this Hardy Hardy Corporation or Hardy family business thing.
yeah,
I don't
big
think
money,
that
Matt.
ever really worked.
Well, I think he wants to bring the deletion back because he says he couldn't debut it with no people because the character doesn't work with nobody in the crowd repeating delete.
Yeah, he
But
just
now there's
looks
a
nuts.
crowd.
Like,
Yeah.
weird.
Now there's a crowd, and now his brother's going to be coming back, so he's going to do other brother Nero.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what he's going to. I think he's going back to. He's going to bring back the whole family with the butler and the fucking drone and the whole fucking thing's going to
And
come
that
back.
was
Vanguard one.
that was at the same time on Impact as Dan Lambert was there. That was such a good era of Impact.
It was, and nobody was watching it.
Yeah.
Nobody was watching it. And everybody's like, Impact sucks. I'm like, are you crazy?
Are you
Are
seeing
you guys
this over
watching
here?
this? Yeah. Are you guys seeing this circus? This is crazy shit.
Yeah,
You know?
it was really good.
Yeah, too bad, man.
We saw Malachi Black show up after the match, and then he was joined by Brody King, which, like you predicted last week.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly what I thought was going to happen. Yo, and did they not look dominated?
Yeah, they look cool together for sure.
Like, put those two dudes together when they were standing one next to each other. The first thing I said was, Jesus Christ, those two motherfuckers look like badasses.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to kick some ass. And that's what they need. They need that type of presence in that company. They have a bunch of little guys that are talented wrestlers, man. But it's like watching Dragon Gate USA with a few WWE guys when you watch sometimes. That's what I feel like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you need
Now
more, you
you're
need to mix it up. You need to really mix
Yeah.
it up. The different
they
styles.
need to have. Yeah, exactly. They need that. They need that. And they got two guys that can wrestle, not just big lunks, you know, two guys that are talented wrestlers, not just
Brody
big
King
blow.
is he's gonna be something there for sure.
About
And
time. Good for him.
I guess so. Remember his stable with they were Villain Enterprises.
Yeah.
That definitely is over. I guess Marty Skrull is like excommunicated from the wrestling world.
Is he though? Because I
showed up on Impact.
Yeah, PCO's on Impact now. I don't know if he's staying, but he's he's there now. Like,
and Brody King is now with AEW.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a separation. I don't know what's going to happen with that whole Ring of Honor thing. There seems to be a lot of guys that are jumping ship, and they don't seem willing to wait on the company during the hiatus. You know what I mean? Like the loyalty to that or whatnot. You know.
I think we're gonna have more news about Ring of Honor.
Yes, later.
Weeks. They announced that they're definitely doing a show in
April.
On the WrestleMania weekend. And I think as of now, the shows that they're booking, they're only using non-contracted talent, and they're still not going to sign anyone to contracts.
Yeah,
at least
I don't know. I'm wondering if they decided that that's how they're going to run in the future with non-contracted guys, or maybe they're going to go more like the MLW way, where you sign maybe 10 guys. Your 10 main guys that you don't want to lose to another company, that you want to get recognized for. You put them under contract. Everybody else is on per appearance. I think Impact does that too. I think Impact has like maybe 30 really contracted people or something, 30 or 40.
Yeah.
And the other 10 or 15 that are there are per appearance, and they go elsewhere and they show up and they go,
Well, like
I
maybe
think
Ring of Honor could also like borrow talent from Ring of Honor and from AEW. I mean, from Impact and AEW, if they work out some kind of deal like that, because right now, like the Ring of Honor title is being like defended
on Impact. Yeah. Well, at the pay-per-view, they defended it. So right now they seem to be working with Impact in a Ring of Honor name. Like they're probably letting other guys go to other companies, but it seems like the name Ring of Honor right now seems to be in a working relationship with Impact or something.
Yeah.
A lot of people jumped at that pay-per-view. We'll talk about that later. Yeah.
We'll probably see more. Exactly.
More too. Yeah.
So let's just get right into the main event, because there's one more match. The Acclaimed beat Bear Country. Sting and Darby show up. That felt like a match from Dark. I'm sure I've seen that match on Dark before.
Yeah, most probably, but I like the Acclaim though. Those guys are funny, man.
Yeah,
and they're good wrestlers. I like those guys.
on the mic. I think.
He's amazing.
I think he's gonna be like a main eventer, perhaps.
Yeah, someday. Yeah. They're good. Very good tag team.
So Sammy Guzzvara defeats Daniel Garcia to keep his interim TNT championship. And he has Jericho and Kingston in his corner, both trying to cheer for him. This was an okay in-ring match. Well, pretty good in-ring match. But I don't feel it was worthy of a main event. It didn't live up to the hype for me of a main event. And the whole Jericho Kingston saga, I think we need to like see it like go somewhere instead of it like having these like it's advancing by having these meaningless matches.
Yeah, it's meaningless. The feud's meaningless. This match was kind of meaningless, although it could have been just like, for the TNT title, because you have to have defenses. But it should have been like the first hour main event, this is the first hour of, AEW's main event. We're going to be defending the TNT title. You know what I'm saying? And I hate the way they keep saying interim. Like the interim TNT. Is he an interim champ? Like, is he the champion or is he not the champion? What's interim fucking stand for? When Cody's ready, he's going to have to go and kneel in front of him and give him the belt back. You know what I mean? Oh, here is the real champion. I give you back thy belt. Like, I don't get the interim. No, there was a fucking tournament Saturday and he won it. The other dude gave it up because I think he can't wrestle. Is he hurt? What is it again? Cody's got what happened? COVID? What is it?
I'm not sure. Honestly, I think he's probably like filming a reality show or something like that.
And he's like, oh, fuck this secondary belt. I don't have time.
Yeah. Like, Tony, just write some storyline in.
Exactly. But like, what do you mean storyline? Oh, shit. Oh, we're going to have a tournament Saturday. Like out of nowhere. I didn't even know there was a show Saturday.
Yeah. I see Battle of the Belts.
Battle of the Belts. I'm like, what? When did this get decided? Oh, I guess I missed that. Oh, well, okay.
Yeah. So they had like 4 shows this week, which was a lot.
Way too many.
It feels like definitely like way too much at a certain point. People just can't watch that much wrestling. I mean,
you know what I mean?
That's it. So let's get into some other news here. We'll talk about news related to our great province of Quebec here. As reported last week, Lufisto will be entering the Independent Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Coming up January 22nd on Saturday. It's going to be streaming live on the GCW YouTube page. People can check that out. Drey, tell us a bit about what you know about Lufisto. Personally, I've always been a huge fan of hers. Yeah.
I think she broke a lot of barriers for women wrestlers in a lot of ways. She's probably one of the first chicks to like really do hardcore death. Is she the first one to do death matches? I think, right?
Yeah, I'm
To
pretty
do
sure. Yeah.
death matches. I'm pretty sure she's the first chick in North America to do death matches. I don't know about Japan. Japan, there was a bunch of girls back in the day in FMW that would do that shit. But to
She
bring it over
actually,
here,
yeah.
definitely the first. Definitely the first here
Oh yeah, and
to do.
she was a champion in CZW at a time where like it was just insane to like see a girl like doing these matches, wrestling
And
against like Necro Butcher and stuff like that.
yeah, that's it. She did intergender too, the
Yeah,
intergender defense titles and everything. Very well-rounded wrestler and respected from
and she's still
here to
wrestling today, you
Mexico.
know.
Yeah, she still is. And I think it's well overdue that at least on the independent scene. I mean, you can't expect her to be into the WWE Hall of Fame or TNA Hall of Fame or anything yet for what she's done, but she's done enough on the independent scene for her to deserve this. And it's about time that she gets some respect,
Yeah,
you know.
definitely.
She'll
Yeah.
she'll
So
be
that's
going
great
in with
news.
Homicide, and who else is going in with her? It's her,
Dave
Homicide.
Prazak, Jerry Lynn,
Yeah, Jerry Lynn too. Yeah,
a
that's
couple other
good.
people. We'll definitely we'll keep an eye
Get
on
back
that.
on
I
it.
think they're
Yeah,
announcing some more people too.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
we'll keep our
It
eye
should
on
be
that
pretty
for
good.
sure. So
Awesome.
yeah, Mike Bailey won his Impact debut in the pre-show of the pay-per-view, and he'll
But
be
yeah,
facing Jake something on Impact this week on Thursday.
yeah, tomorrow night, which is going to be a really good Impact, man. That was a great pay-per-view. I know you caught it too, where we're talking back and forth. What a good pay-per-view.
Definitely one of the better pay-per-views I've seen in the last year. Like from top to bottom, I really liked the hardcore like 5 versus 5. It was kind of like a
Like a
war
war
games,
game.
but no
Yeah,
cage, but a hardcore match instead, which works. It works well.
yeah. When you got the right people in it, and I think they had the right people to do that. Like Eric Young was good in that. I really liked Carl Anderson was really good in it.
Yeah,
Heath was pretty good in that. I like the way that they started off with two guys. Yeah, had another guy come in, another guy come in, another guy come in. The heels had an advantage, then the face would come through. The heel would have an advantage, the face would come through. It was pretty well.
yeah, it was well
Yeah,
booked, definitely.
yeah,
And at the
yeah.
end of that, we had the Kingdom show up with
Yeah,
PCO, which
yeah.
like
Like
what?
the original Kingdom. Like at first, I had heard that Mike Bennett and Maria Kanellis were supposed to sign with Impact because they'd been there before. I heard they were going there. My brother said, I hope they sign Matt Taven. And my brother's a big Matt Taven fan. And me in my head, I was like, Taven is so talented that he'll probably get signed by AEW. But I think that they seem to be wanting to make a name for themselves as who they are, as the Kingdom. They seem to be wanting to go like they went to the NWA, recently to try to get the NWA tag titles, and now they're all in Impact, and they brought Vincent with them, like the original King,
Yeah.
which is
I think they're definitely overdue to be like big stars. These guys are awesome. In Ring
yeah,
of Honor, they were legit, you know?
yeah, yeah. They were one of the main events for a while on that show. In that company,
Yeah.
the Kingdom. I mean, Taven, wasn't he Ring of Honor champion for a while too? Yeah, he was the
Yeah,
Ring of Honor
definitely.
champion for a
Yeah.
while. Yeah. And
And
Maria,
Taven,
where everywhere she goes. So,
yeah,
you know,
Maria is what a superstar she is, indeed.
yeah, yeah. PCO, what a champ. When he showed up, the pop he got coming through the crowd, the people realized he was there. They're like, the people really love PCO, man.
Yeah.
They
He's
really do.
people are like he has a different kind of popularity.
Yeah. It's like that niche of people that like Abyss, that like Undertaker, that like that dude that's like an unstoppable machine that you can break a chair over his head and he'll just keep walking because he's actually like that in real life. Like,
No, that's it.
I mean,
He's the guy's pretty legit. He's pretty
yeah, like he eats glass. Like, ask him to eat glass, he'll eat glass for a tip. Like he used to
That's
do
it.
it at a bar that he worked at. Like he is legit crazy. Like, and he did something crazy too. I thought he killed Rich Swann when he jumped off the ring.
That's it. He comes in and like he's PCO doing PCO things right away. Like
Yeah,
almost kills
screaming.
himself, almost kills
Yeah,
somebody else.
he did. He did almost kill himself too. I was like, man, that was like one step away from being on Botch Mondays.
That's it. So yeah, like so they'll have Bailey and PCO on Impact. It seems. I mean, we don't know about PCO, but people seem really excited for him. So I guess he'll have at least some kind of feud. And
Well,
yeah,
this whole Ring of Honor thing is a feud that will be going on for a few weeks, at least for a month, because they were all at the Impact tapings that were done this weekend. So all of them that were
right.
they're there. Like so, they're doing the whole invasion angle.
Yeah.
Or is it
So
a rogue group only, or is it actually like a Ring of Honor total invasion? I
yeah,
guess
like
we'll
was that
find out
just the
then.
beginning?
Yeah, exactly, exactly,
Oh,
exactly.
that's cool. It'll keep us watching for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
on NXT, we won't go over the whole show, but there was a couple particularly things I found interesting. They had this guy, Tony D'Angelo. Have you seen this guy? He's
I
like,
have
he
seen him
says he's
before.
in the mob and he wrestles
Yeah,
in track pants and a wife beater. They had a very Vince Russo-esque um, crowbar on a pole, him against Pete Dunne. And he actually beat Pete Dunne.
yo, they're making everybody from the old NXT get destroyed. Roderick Strong lost his title, unified it with the cruiserweight title, and the other dude won it. I don't remember what the other dude's name is. I was like, they're really gonna do this to Rowdy. Like they're
I
really
know.
just
That
gonna
was
squish them all. It's almost like they're making them pay because their friends are leaving.
yeah. It's really like I thought there was no way that Pete Dunne was gonna lose that match. I was like, this guy is like brand new. He's wearing freaking track pants. This is
And it,
WWE.
you just said it though. This is WWE. And it's like people keep forgetting it with this company. They keep forgetting. They keep like, oh, but it's good. It's good. No, it's not. It's bullshit. It's been bullshit for 15 years. It's still bullshit. It's just Vince McMahon's warped and his writers' warped vision of what entertainment wrestling should be. And everybody that's a real wrestler should get his ass kicked and he should be fucking pushed to the side for some random jock that looks good or that has an Instagram account with a lot of followers. We'll teach him to wrestle
At
and
this
we'll make him
point,
a character.
Pete Dunne should be like at least going for the US or Intercontinental Championship, not
Exactly.
losing to some
Exactly.
fake mob guy in freaking track pants.
Exactly. Exactly. This company, I don't understand, man. The bookings. And this is why I turned the channel. I can watch one match and
That's
I
it.
turn the
Like
channel.
sometimes like you find they have some all right in-ring matches, but like the storylines for the most part have been ridiculous. And here, just to prove this, on Monday nights, AJ Styles is a heel. You tune in on Tuesday, and he was a babyface in the main event of NXT against Grayson Waller, who attacked
Who?
him on Raw. But like, I don't think people really understood what the hell was going on there.
No. He's against Omos, and then he's nowhere, and then he's on NXT, and Omos is fucking up in the ring, getting caught on TV talking to the fucking opponent that he's about to squash, and the fucking referee while the camera's on him, asking him, what is it he asked him? Should I go all out? Something like that. Like right off the bat, man, what the fuck? And then
Yeah,
they send
almost this
AJ
squash match was it was a disaster. Like
because he can't
it's the first
wrestle.
time he's out there alone, and I don't think he's ready to be alone. This guy is
No,
perfect to put a manager with him, though.
exactly. Because he's perfect to come in a ring, beat the shit, come in the ring from behind, beat the shit out of somebody that's unexpected, choke slam him, power bomb him through a table. He can't go a whole match yet. It's like he's lost. He doesn't know where to go, how to go with it, how to, tone it down, put it up. It's like, Jesus, man. But it's like he's so impressive, they just want to put him out there right away. Oh, he's fucking impressive. The people are gonna love him. I hear Vince, he's so big. I love him. Yeah. Put him out there now.
It's almost like an El Gigante WCW situation.
The Giant Gonzalez.
Exactly.
He's the Giant Gonzalez again. And he's, what's his name? What was the Indian one?
Great Khali.
Fuck. Man.
Like he's so tall.
He's just, you can't even wrestle with him because he's awkward. His
and
knees are shot.
Like so many people.
Exactly. His knees are shot. He can't move around the ring because he's so tall. It's just bad. It's bad. It's just bad. Bad booking. So, bad booking.
We got some pretty crazy news. MLW is going to be taking WWE to court over antitrust allegations stemming from trying to block them from getting signed with Vice TV, among other things.
Yeah, other things.
Where do you think this is going to go?
They're going to win.
At this point, it's a pretty open and shut case if you look at it, I would think.
Well, they got the Vice TV executive that was talked to by another executive of the WWE that outright told them to pull the show on Vice TV because Vince is not happy. He's pitching a fit. And the Vice TV executive outright told them that that's illegal. In the conversation said, what you're doing right now is illegal. And the other WWE representative said, what do you want me to do? I can't control Vince McMahon.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Vince McMahon thinks he's fucking Donald Trump or something. He's above the law. Oh, I don't like that. You pull it. Like he got MLW pulled off of Tubi because Tubi's it was their streaming. That's another thing they did because it's owned by Fox and WWE's on Fox.
Tubi is it's a uprising app. It's more and more used now. It's affiliated now with the NFL. So had they been on there, it would have been a lot of eyes on them.
Exactly. And so Vince said, if our product is affiliated to you, you pull MLW off. On top of fucking up contract negotiations with wrestlers by telling wrestlers not to sign with MLW. Don't go there. Don't sign there.
Yeah.
Like just totally sabotaging.
Yeah, definitely. So they got like the Vice executive. We already have quotes from a Vice TV executive in the public now before even going to court. So it's not looking good here for WWE, but who knows? Maybe they'll settle out of court, or I don't know what's going to happen, but that'll definitely be an interesting one to keep our eye on.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah. So Corey Graves has been cleared to wrestle after, I think, 7 or 8 years of inactivity. What do you think is going to happen? You think he'll wrestle in WWE? You think now that he can wrestle, he'll like go elsewhere? I don't know.
I think it's a bad idea. I think I don't know. I don't even remember him wrestling that much. Like I remember seeing him a few times and then just like nothing. And then all of a sudden he was an announcer.
Yeah, I was like, I remember him on NXT as in some tag team. I don't even remember.
See? So like, if you memorable, like what are you doing?
Right. Like, yeah, like maybe he was not even a great wrestler. Maybe he was better on the mic anyways.
Where was he before though? Like he must have come up in the indies or something.
Yeah. He
must have been at some point. So I don't know because I can't even quote on this. I mean, I like the guy, like he's a cool guy. I mean, but I don't know. Like I've never seen him really wrestle. Oh shit. Yeah, sorry about that.
It's all good. So yeah. So yeah, I know. Well, time will tell, but hopefully he doesn't come back and get hurt because he already has a pretty like set place. He looks pretty like seems like his job is pretty set in stone there.
Exactly. Oh, which comes back now that we're talking about him. Tom, what's his name is now with Impact Wrestling. We forgot to go over that.
Phillips, yeah, signed with Impact. We were wondering because Impact, who did they fire to make space for him?
Matt Striker.
Yeah, so I mean, Tom Phillips is good, he's fine, but that feels almost like a lateral move, and that's like a diss. Like, we got to fire you to bring in this other guy. I guess that's what it is. Like, commentary is kind of a bitch of a job because there's like,
it is.
There's almost no one who does it, and there's like no jobs. So you're in competition with like all these, like, there's so few of them that you're like always in competition with like the guys you're working with, even if you don't want to be.
Exactly.
Like, it's like playing musical chairs.
And to me, I'm like, me personally, I don't hate the 3-guy combination. And I've seen Impact try so many 2 combinations. I'm like, why don't they just try 3 guys? Like, why don't they put Striker with D'Lo and Tom? Like, put Tom in the middle, and Striker is the guy that he can have an interesting wrestling conversation with because they both have a lot of knowledge, you know, and D'Lo's more the color commentator, you know, the guy that adds the, well, you know, like Jerry Lawler does, the comedy, the whatever side, you know? And Tom Phillips, you make him that middle guy, the guy that talks loud. Because one thing about Tom is that and I noticed it just watching the fucking pay-per-view, he brings life to it because he's loud, he's clear, he reacts, he's not monotone, going, oh, wow, this is more Matt Striker, you know? Oh, that was an interesting move. That was, you know, and it's like, but Tom Phillips is like, oh, and he's like, yes, everybody, welcome to the, you know what I mean? Like, he's loud, he's there, he's alive.
Gets into it.
Exactly. And you could tell that's from being over there for the last 9 years. And he's always been trained by there. It's hard. Like, exactly. So in my opinion, being a fan of Impact and watching it nonstop every week, I'm sad to lose Matt. He's a good guy. They should have kept him doing other things. I guess he had controversy backstage with some people, even though he said he loved the locker room. You never know. There was a reason why they did that. But at the end of the day, I think bringing Tom was because the show is lacking life, not talent in the ring, not the booking, just the fucking presentation of it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like the guy there's like they're both monotone. Well, Matt Striker and D'Lo.
At one point, I think it was Angelina Love and D'Lo doing commentary together, and it was absolutely horrible.
Oh, it was Madison Rayne.
Madison Rayne, yeah. It was absolutely horrible.
Oh, Madison Rayne and Josh, like the husband and wife. It was
like
terrible.
Who wants to hear a husband and wife? She would like give him a bit of shit, but like you could tell they're joking.
Yeah, exactly. Then they would talk about like their little personal ends, you know. But you like that, and it's like, yeah, of course you know she does. It's your fucking wife, and everybody knows. Like, get off of it.
We don't give a fuck ultimately about shit.
Exactly. It was like watching a wrestling of the Macy's parade, you know. Oh, and here comes the rose float, you know. Yeah. Oh, I love this one. You love roses, baby, don't you? Yes, I do, Josh. Oh, fuck. Stop. Yeah. No, this is the best presentation possible.
That's it.
And I also like the way they brought out Ian Riccaboni from Ring of Honor.
Yeah, for the Ring of Honor segments. Definitely, he could get in the mix there somehow too. Yeah.
Well, I'll give something away at the tapings. The Roxy match against Deonna Purrazzo, which will probably be on tomorrow night, if not next week. He's doing the commentary again, which I think is pretty cool. Like they're giving respect to Ring of Honor in a sense that they're not just taking the wrestlers. They're, you know, like Ian is part of Ring of Honor. He deserves to be there doing what he does, and he does it good, you know. Like he's the voice of Ring of Honor, you know. And I think that kudos to them for showing that respect and even having that idea, you know, bringing him in to do the matches and stuff. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. And they even had like you're saying, Deonna Purrazzo. Actually, I believe she won the belt, if I'm not mistaken, on the pay-per-view.
Monday. The show during the recordings, the tapings. Yeah, she beats Roxy. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what I had heard. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so like,
she wins.
It's not just the titles are showing up. Like they could actually change hands here. So this is actually getting very interesting.
Oh, and apparently the angle is that they all jump on her. They all jump the ring. And like at the pay-per-view, you weren't sure if Jonathan Gresham was with the Invaders or if he was just defending the title.
Yeah,
But I hear that if I read properly at the taping, he's on stage with all of them. Like it is an invasion angle. Like who else is gonna show up? I don't know, but it really is like Ring of Honor is challenging Impact outright on their own TV show. And tune in for the next tapings because Jay White is coming back to Impact. So
yeah, true, yeah,
The Bullet Club is going to reunify. Well, the four members that are part of Impact, him, El Fantasmo, Chris Bay, and Hikuleu. So they're
yeah.
basically four. I wish the Gorillas of Dynasty would show up. I still don't understand why they haven't showed up. Like
They
to
would
me,
be
it's just
great for the
ridiculous.
tag team division. I like
It
Chris Bay
would.
in it being in the Bullet Club. He brings
It
something
was
different.
the cockiness.
Yeah.
Bullet Club is all about cockiness. Every motherfucker in that thing is cocky. Cockiness. Stand out, pure cockiness. And Chris Bay, he's got it. That's what he's got. You
No,
know.
for sure.
So
So we'll go over one last story of the week before we take off here. We'll go over the Fed that we're newly keeping an eye on here, and we're suggesting that our fans keep an eye on. This
Yep.
Saturday, GCW is holding the Say You Will pay-per-view on Fight. And on that pay-per-view, there will be two Quebecers wrestling, as PCO will be taking on AJ Gray. Speedball Mike Bailey will be making his GCW debut against Tony Deppen. He's also signed for 3 matches in February. And Bailey is also signed for the 2022 Pro Wrestling Guerrilla Battle of Los Angeles.
Man, that's great. Good for Mike, man. Finally.
Finally,
Finally. Good for him, man. Like he's gonna shine. Impact is his home, and they're allowing him in his contracts to be able to participate in all these tournaments. I heard New Japan, now that he's signed with Impact, are interested in bringing him in for some matches. Good for him, man.
For the junior heavyweight, he would fit in like perfectly.
Could you imagine the 2022 Young Lions Cup? Oh yeah, he's a definite in that. I'm telling you now.
Oh yeah, and he'll get over like crazy. And he already has experience in Japan. He had extended stays in Japan, so I'm pretty sure he'd be more than comfortable with going there. So man,
definitely, yeah.
This will be looking really good. So we'll go over a bit more of the card for the Say You Will. The Briscoe brothers will be on the card. Jeff Jarrett will be on the card. Bandito will be taking on Blake Christian.
That's gonna be sick.
The woman, I don't know if you've seen her, the Dark Sheik. She's a women's wrestler. She's you'll have to check her out. She's gonna be.
I'll have to look her up. Yeah.
Yeah, she's pretty cool. There's gonna be Allie Katch against Kylie Ray. They're two pretty well-known indie women. But the match that I'm most looking forward to on this show, Ricky Morton versus Matt Cardona.
This is gonna be pretty damn good. Hey, hats off to Ricky Morton. Like, what is he? 117 years old? Because he looks 117 years old. Like,
does,
man, but he can go. He's like a mean old grandpa.
Yeah, no, this guy was so amazing back in the day.
He was. And it's kind of sad that there was like a 10 or 15 year gap that these two guys, when they were faster and more, you know what I mean? That they didn't get what they should have gotten, which is a shot, in the WWE, a shot in WCW.
Exactly. They never even they wrestled a bit in WWF and WCW, but that was even past when they had really gotten their push. Their WCW push was technically in NWA, the NWA era, By the time there was big money in wrestling, they never got a shot. They were
they were still in Smoky Mountain and down south. Exactly. And even when TNA, I thought when Jeff Jarrett put TNA up in 2003 because he's so close with all the Southern guys. You know, I mean, shit, he brought Tracy Smothers. He
Yeah.
brought all the
You think we
Armstrongs,
would see the rock
the
and
Rock
roll
and Roll
there?
Express. Even when Jim Cornette showed up at one
Yeah.
point, I was like, okay, when is Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson going to get to show up? Like, kudos to Impact. They did bring him in a couple of years ago a few times, you know, like during
Yeah.
that whole Hardy thing that we were talking about, which was awesome. It was good that they brought them in that. But I
Yeah,
mean,
that was
like,
awesome.
to see them in their prime when they could really put a match on so that people could take their hats off to these two guys, you know, and like watch them have a memorable match. I think it really sucks, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, good for Rick. I mean, like they're still going. These guys are gonna die in the ring. Like
That's it. And he's having a match against Matt Cardona in like the most relevant indie in 2022 is freaking insane.
I bet if you told him that in 1989 in Smoky Mountain Wrestling, he would have said, "You're crazy."
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? He said,
Yeah.
"What you talking about, man? You crazy." Good. Kudos to Rick. Kudos to Rick, man.
That's it,
That's
man.
gonna
So we'll definitely probably try to check that out on Fight TV. All the fans should check that out. Support Bailey, support PCO. Check
definitely.
out some Game Changer. That's probably like the biggest event of the weekend that I would suggest that the fans check out this weekend.
Yeah, definitely. I would say so. Yeah. If you're into some indie wrestling, you want to see something different, you want to see some different faces get, you know, pushed in the main event and stuff like that, it's definitely a check out. It's pretty cool thing. And isn't X-Pac on commentary?
X-Pac, he was on commentary on a show that they had on their YouTube on the weekend called LA Fights. We didn't have too much time to get into that one today because of so much info, but yeah, X-Pac's affiliated with them. We know that Kevin Nash is supposed to be showing up at one of their upcoming shows. There's probably going to be other guys showing up on this show too.
That's
You know,
definitely. There's gonna be some old dudes that are gonna show up. Yeah.
I'm
Because it's the place.
really interested to see what Jeff Jarrett does.
Yeah, really. Because Jeff Jarrett's a promoter. And if he's in Game Changer and Kevin Nash is there, these guys have money. They have money to help. You know what I mean? And to attract other talent to push it, you know? So I hope that's what they do, man. Because I hope Game Changers doesn't just stay known for death matches. You know, it's more than just that. Like there's good wrestling, you know, and it needs to be elevated. Now that Ring of Honor, I mean, is on hiatus, why not? I mean, there needs to be another option also.
Yeah,
so.
definitely. We definitely need more options, and that's why I think everyone would appreciate watching Game Changer, and especially because now like they're really like upping the budget, and also like we're saying that they're bringing in like these Quebec wrestlers. If we support more and we let it known that, you know, if they see that a lot of people are buying the events from Quebec, maybe they'll even bring in more Quebec wrestlers. You know?
Exactly. And that goes for Impact too. I mean, Jesus Christ, it's owned by a fucking Canadian company. Canadians are working there. Quebecers are working there. Like, support it. You know, like get off the WWE's dick. Sometimes get off of a. Like, that's one thing I'd like to close the show with. Like, what annoys me the most is when I see a comment of somebody joining one of the other companies, like Ring of Honor or MLW or Impact, and seeing a kid, or I say a kid, but it's not. It's a fucking grown man writing, "Oh, I'd really like to see him in the WWE." Why? Why would you want him to be in the Why would you want him to be in AEW? Oh, I really want him to show up. Isn't there enough guys showing up right now?
Yeah, really.
Like, isn't there enough guys right now there? Why? It's almost like all people want is not to see the wrestler succeed in the company, is just see the moment he shows up.
Yeah.
The moment he shows up, that pop, that first week. Oh, and then on to something else. That's not wrestling. Wrestling is not just a fucking dude showing up every week, man. That's not fucking wrestling. And fucking get off the company's dick. Like, you support other things. Like, they've got enough talent. Please stop. You know, I wanted to show up in AEW. Could you imagine what he could do in AEW? Oh, wow, he needs to show up in AEW. No one right now needs to show up in AEW besides maybe Bray Wyatt. Like, because there's
Yeah.
nobody worth a pop. It's probably going to be Johnny Gargano, but nobody's worth a pop. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's worth that pop. Like, it's why? It's just going to be a waste. It's just going to be a waste. It's just like Christian Cage with Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, really, the whole like, let's get this guy almost just to like have him show up and then we'll worry about it later. But the thing everyone like remembers, and the only significant thing they do is like just walking in the door. That's not very good storytelling.
No. And Eddie Kingston said something stupid too about that. He was like, sign them all. And then it'll create competition. And then in my head, I'm like, but aren't you creating the same environment that everybody just left from the other place? And you want to create it there. Like, you don't make sense, dude. Go knock on the other door. You'll have your competition.
Yeah, and
You
they
know what
don't
I
even
mean?
do
Like,
house shows, so there's not
they
enough.
don't need that many.
That's
Exactly.
it.
You know? So, yeah. So, at that, get off the dicks. Stop it.
That's right. Wise words from my co-host, the magnificent Drey Breeze. And we'll end the show on those wise words. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to another episode of Pro Wrestling Tonight. Tune in next week for more news from the Prez. Speaking for also my co-host, the magnificent Drey Breeze. We wish you a great night and enjoy that
Stay
pro
steady.
wrestling, ladies and gentlemen.
Support your indies.
That's right.